Hey, Crystal Maiden here for part 5 of Sonic 3D Blast with Supersonic. And now we're in Gadget Zone. Not really sure what that name has to do with anything. I mean, it's not really about genes. But whatever. And this level is not really that different from the level coming right after it, which kind of makes it feel redundant in retrospect. There's a lot of electricity hazards in both of those levels. But surprisingly, they actually added a new feature into the blue shield. Normally the blue shield is just a regular old shield, nothing special about it. In this game, the blue shield is actually the electric shield. Which means that if you have the blue shield in this level, it's pretty broken because you're completely immune to all of the electricity hazards. So there really isn't a normal shield in this game. Although it sucks that you don't have the double jump that you had in Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Because in Sonic 3 and Knuckles, when you had the electric shield, you could do a double jump. But in this game, you can't do that. Especially, it's just really annoying. Although it's not that big of a deal. And there's also these fans that blow you upwards. You go to all sorts of tubes and they send you to different areas. And thankfully, there's no tube maze like in Scrambled Egg Zone. The tubes are entirely automated. They take you exactly where you need to go. Which is very good. Because it would really suck if this level was such a maze because tubes would send you to places you didn't want to go. There are some tubes that you don't want to go in, but it's not like it's a huge tube maze. This is the first Sonic game to be released on the Saturn. But surprisingly, it's not the first Saturn game that Sonic was in. He originally appeared as an unlockable character in Christmas Nights into Dreams, which was his very first 3D appearance. No joke. You might think that okay, maybe Sonic Adventure was obviously his first 3D appearance. Nope. Sonic R? Nope. And then you assume, okay, maybe it was Sonic Jam? Nope. It was Nights into Dreams, which was a Saturn game where you flew through rings. But unlike Superman 64, this game is actually fun. Or so I've heard, I've never actually played it. Like, I watched Let's Plays of it, but that's about it. Apparently, it has this internal clock. Apparently, the Saturn has an internal clock. And it knows when it's Christmas time. So, it has this Christmas into Dreams thing. And apparently, Sonic's an unlockable character in that. It's like, they didn't immediately transition into 3D Sonic. They had a lot of games where they were trying to experiment with the idea of him being in 3D. A lot of games are a necessary intermediate between 2D Sonic and 3D Sonic. Like, a lot of people dismiss games like Sonic R and Sonic 3D Blast and Sonic Jam and Sonic the Fighters even. But they were technically 3D appearances. Sonic was in a 3D form in them. Like, even though it looked really awful polygonal, because it was like the Saturn and stuff, it was still technically a 3D appearance. And this boss is a unique idea, like you're walking against a conveyor belt. But it becomes pathetically easy once you realize that a good way to cheese it is to just keep walking into this corner, jump over the spikes when they come along, and then jump into Eggman when he gets close to you. The conveyor belt can make you move in directions you didn't intend, but other than that, it's pretty easy. So I like this boss. I just wish that it didn't drag out so long. This game was made by Traveler's Tales, which was a company that, well, it went on to make Sonic R, but it didn't really make that many Sonic games. These days, Traveler's Tales makes Lego games. I heard that the Lego licensed games are actually okay. Like, they're easy, very obviously kids' first games. But like the Lego Star Wars games and stuff are actually good, apparently. I would never play them because I know I'm gonna sound really shallow for saying this, but I hate the way they look. I never thought Lego looked good, and especially not Lego people. Like I usually don't care about the graphics. Maybe if I actually played them and liked the gameplay, I'd not care about the horrible graphics, but they're just, the people are all square and you can't really tell who's supposed to be what character. It's just lame. Oh, that lever. You need to press that lever in order to make it so that the conveyor belt stops moving you. Because Sonic will stand on it, and he'll stand uncharacteristically still instead of just going across it. You can't even jump when you're on that thing. The game arbitrarily forces you to flip that lever. And it's really unintuitive trying to figure out how you're supposed to do that in the first place. Why do they bother letting you go into here if you can't do anything? It took me way longer than it should have to flip that lever. Like, I had to cut stuff out. Because you keep trying to jump at it and roll into it and it won't flip. Panic Puppet Zone isn't really that different from Gadget Zone. I mean, it looks pretty different. It seems to have less electricity, but it has some of the same gimmicks. Like, it has these fans again. It has more irritating isometric platforming sections. And some of them, if you fail, then you have to go, you get sent really far back into the level. It's very easy to get sent really far back into the level and have to do a lot of backtrack and get back to where you were. I'm pretty sure you can actually skip this. But if you... Bullshit, why did I slide through that platform as if it wasn't solid? I think you can skip that. But how are you supposed to know that? I really like the theme of Panic Puppet Zone. Or was it... Yeah, it was Gadget. Like, that's the music I really like. Because Panic Puppet Zone music is, it's alright, but kind of, like, it's a final level, but I don't really care about all that much. They should have brought back Gadget music instead. Yep, yeah, this is the part where I, all the way back to the beginning of the level. Isn't that fun? But anyways, the Genesis music of Panic Puppet Act 2 was a remix of the boss theme from Sonic 3 Knuckles. It must have been pretty heavily remixed because I didn't notice that at all. But in a future game in the series, you're gonna hear this music again. And I don't know why they didn't bring back Gadget's music, because it's really good. Also, the canon explanation for why the Flickies are in containers this time around is that Eggman didn't have enough time to put them into robots. And some people say that this is how the game should have been. Like, they should have had Flickies being containers in every single level. And I guess, but I mean, that would be like a very minor change, because you'd still have Flickies scatter away from you after you got hit while they're following you. You still have them running away from you and making it hard to make them catch up with you. Like, really the only... Like, sure, you wouldn't be able to defeat enemies. You wouldn't have to defeat enemies to get them anymore, but... The game's real problem is that you have to collect Flickies in the first place. Here, you can just go through the level, and it's fine. So, there really isn't that much left for me to say about this game. So thankfully I have a huge backlog of stuff to talk about. I mean, like, multiple pages long. But, oh, it's the end of the level. I forget. We're in Act 1, right? Yep, Act 1. Okay, so the victory theme that's playing right here, before I get to the rest of the trivia, that victory theme is going to be recycled in pretty much every Sonic game afterward. It's from Sonic 3 and Knuckles, and I like the classic victory theme of Sonic 1 and 2, but I actually prefer them because of the fact that you hear the victory theme of Sonic 3 Knuckles so often, because it's remixed so much. It's practically always the theme that you hear when you beat a level in a Sonic game. Yeah, this level is a lot harder. It's very, very easy to get hit. There's a lot of stuff that can hit you. And the enemies, apparently Eggman doesn't need Flickies to power these robots. But they don't drop rings when they get hit, so what are they powered by? Did he steal some Chaos Drives and power them? Well, that's a good foreshadowing to him not using animals to power his robots anymore. This takes place like 5 years before the modern era. Or is it? I mean, like, since we're getting really close to the very end of the classic era, where they're trying to have Sonic 4-way, they're trying to do all sorts of things to experiment and get ready for putting Sonic in a 3D area. So we've got like Sonic the Fighters, where he has a 3D model, and you got Sonic R, where he's moving around in 3D space, and Sonic Jam. So I like to think that at the end of the classic era, by that point Sonic is at least 11. Because there's no way that all of those games in the classic era could have taken place in the exact same year. Because do you know how many Sonic games were released in the classic era? Over 10 of them. Like, a lot of games were in that era. So I like to think of it as Sonic naturally aging from 10 to at most 12, because it doesn't really make any sense that Eggman didn't do anything evil between the classic era and the Dreamcast era. Like what, did Eggman just take a break? Because we don't hear about him actually, because like, we supposed to believe that Eggman didn't have any big plans between Sonic being 11 and Sonic being 13. I don't really believe that. So now you just stand on a rising platform. That's fun. And now more isometric platforming. Yay! Oh boy. How far do I... I jumped too high. Yeah, it took me multiple attempts to get up here. But anyways, the Sonic was always intended as a fast-paced platformer character. But they didn't quite understand how to do it at first. The original concept for Sonic the Hedgehog was a rabbit slowly going through the levels, picking things up, and throwing them with his ears. But Yuji Naka, who programmed Sonic 1, he played it himself, and he realized that this was not going to make for a fast-paced platform at all. It's constantly stopping to pick up enemies. It was all stop and go. It wasn't really a fast, continuous pace. Finally, I reached Eggman's nose. I've always wanted to go there. Yeah, that's weird. I don't know why Eggman decided to put the entrance to his next boss fight in there. See you in the next part.